morning. It's a blessed morning to be here today and to be alive. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will be glad and rejoice in it. This is today's live on Equa Television International. My name is Jemima Emmanuel, and today we are looking at a topic. You know what we do every Wednesday, right? We talk about relationship, yes? So today we are looking at the topic intellectual compatibility in relationships. Intellectual compatibility in relationship. Like, this is really a serious thing that should be talked about, because a lot of people are committing one form of error or the other out there, and so we are looking at this topic today. I have with me on the set Joyce Jakada.
I'm happy
Good
to
morning.
be here. Good morning.
Solomon Sabo, good morning.
You know why I'm happy? Nobody to just pinch me at the moment.
It's just for
So
a while.
I'm happy.
So Engineer Tony Jane Akale will join us shortly. So we just
Before
begin.
then, I'm happy to be here.
Oh wow.
Thank God you say at the moment.
Exactly, at the moment.
Until then, I'm happy to be here.
And you don't know what will
Please
happen
try and
then.
finish the show before.
Before he comes.
Wow.
All right then.
Wow.
We'll see what we can do, right?
Jemima that will just betray me like this.
Me am.
When Engineer Tony come in, that's when she will start the show. She'll start, good morning, this is today's live. Then we'll start all over again.
And I'll tell him what he said.
You see, that's the problem.
No, I'm asking you and I'll tell him what he said.
Do I even care?
Me, one thing that I know, I'm good at leaping.
Okay.
Yes, at leaping, I'm
Okay.
very good at.
Oh, great. Great.
Oh, wow.
So it seems it is one woman standing.
Okay. Oyo is your case. Me, I already know my own is Oyo sis. So,
Okay, so we're looking at compatibility, intellectual compatibility in relationship. Like, is it a necessity? Like, should that just be the thing? Is it something that is so important that you should look at when you are going into a relationship? A lot of times you see different kind of things happening and you're wondering, okay, did these people really have a relationship? Did they really discuss these things? Did they talk about it? Did they see people's experiences? Did they learn from others? Like, why are people doing the things that they are doing? So let's talk about intellectual compatibility in relationships.
you asked the question, should it be a yardstick? Yes. I know people start shouting, "Damn, ma, is it not Joyce?" Yes.
Okay, so intellectual compatibility should be a yardstick
Yes.
for measurement in a relationship.
It shouldn't be the sum total.
Okay.
It's just an aspect of the things you're considering, like in the relationship entirely. Intellectual compatibility is just an aspect of it all. You have the attraction, you have emotional intelligence, like you have other things. But for me, this being part of the things you consider in relationship is a yes. What is actually intellectual compatibility? It's just alignment or harmony between two individuals in terms of thinking, their interests, and all of that. So if I am relating with you, or I'm going to relationship with you, there should be some form of alignment between our thought pattern, the way we think, our interests. That way, at least we can have good conversation. Which one is me and you getting married, and while you are at the sitting room, I'm in the bedroom, or when you're talking, like I cannot contribute to what you are saying, or when there is a problem, like I cannot think that, okay, there are women that will take certain decisions, then they will still ask their husband, there's this, so what do you think? They because of that alignment and harmony, like you could say that, I know my partner will agree to this, or I know he will also think in this direction. So it's just you and the person, or two individuals having been at the same level, like mental level. You think your thought pattern, your reasoning, it's at the same level. So as far as relationship is concerned, married or unmarried, for me is a yes.
Okay. Solomon Sambo, let me know what you think.
Well,
Should it be a yardstick for measurement?
well, I will agree with Joyce.
Okay.
I will agree with Joyce.
Okay.
I'm
Somehow.
surprised.
You are surprised. I don't know. I don't normally fight you on this set.
Okay, go ahead with
You
your
know, I
points.
always concur. Anytime you make sense, sometimes I sit down and I write notes. You know.
Okay.
So
Yes, Prof.
she have started. You see, yeah? Okay. So for me, I would say yes, because it is very, very important. Even though I would say it is now that people are getting to understand the damage, that lack of observing this intellectual compatibility has done to marriages and to relationships. Because I would say before now, most people, not all, take it for granted. Most especially in this part of Africa, this part of the world. There's this issue of the woman is just an object. So you can pick her from any level. That's why one time in this country, somebody get married to a lady which is just 14 years. That means at 14, you can imagine, and somebody is about 60 then, or above 60, you are picking a wife of age 14. Like, I can't just really put this together.
Like you start thinking, how would they converse?
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's why you said the way some people look at like the women, because if you look at the woman as your partner, then you consider intellectual compatibility. As a woman too, if you consider your husband as your partner as well, then you will consider intellectual compatibility. So in any situation, like for me, if you don't think intellectual compatibility is important, or you don't like, it means that you don't value. I just see it as you not valuing the decision, or you don't plan to take along this your partner in terms of reasoning, decision making, solving of problem. Like you have decided that no, you just have an object. So I am the one that have the final say. It's none of your business. Because if you are going to have a partner, that means if somebody is your partner, that means you do things together. So if I'm taking a husband, or I'm taking a wife, and then I'm seeing that person coming into my life as my partner, then it means that we're going to be doing things together. We are going to be moving together. If you are also of the belief and orientation that the two will become one, that means that there has to be alignment. Then you will consider intellectual compatibility. But if you are if that is nothing to go by for you, then anybody, and that's why a 60-year-old man is getting married to a 14-year-old lady. I know some people are of the opinion that age is nothing but a number. But in this case now, 14-year-old girl and a 60-old man, like how do you want, or what kind of conversation are you going to be having?
True.
So he's only going to be taking decision for her, for example. He will not see her as a partner. No, but he rather see her as like a work, something he needs to work on, or probably he takes decision on her behalf, but not as a partner like that. If not, look at the gap between the two.
So would you then say that intellectual compatibility compensates for other areas in a relationship? Like when I say other areas, I mean like emotional compatibility, financial compatibility, spiritual compatibility, even sexual compatibility. So would it then compensate for the other areas? Like if I have a partner that is has intellectual compatibility but struggles with probably financial compatibility, does not know how to be prudent with money. When it comes to sexual compatibility, probably I have the high sex drive, and then that is a no for her. For every time she wants to be intimate with me, probably she wants a child, or a lot of mentalities like that. Spiritual aspects, like, okay, I am the prayerful type, I believe so much in God and all of that, and that person is probably just on the fence. She doesn't even know, or he doesn't even know where he stands or what she does. So then, should intellectual compatibility, can it compensate for the other areas? Can I just go for intellectual and assume that, okay, since this person has intellectual compatibility, it automatically means all the other areas.
I almost said you see Shege Pro Max.
It automatically means that all the other areas are covered.
Let's assume I did not say it. Some will answer. I will respond to that.
It's not far. It is a question.
No. She have answered it earlier. She said is not the yardstick, but is one
It's
of
a
the
yardstick.
yeah.
She said it's a yardstick.
She said
but
it's a yardstick, but sorry, it's a yardstick, but it's not the how did she put it?
Okay,
It's not the ultimate.
Okay, this is what
I had to really spell it out
Yes.
because someone may not have that notion. He may feel, okay, if this person has intellectual compatibility, is a full package, like it's the whole package. It means every other area is covered as well.
No, it's not. It's not. Anybody that would think that
Please. Don't get it twisted.
don't get it twisted. Once you begin to think that, already you are inviting danger because it's just part of it. It's just part of it. It's just like you're cooking a soup that people will come and then eat and then they will wow by what you cook. So you begin to think of all the ingredients coming together, in the pot that make up the soup or whatever you cook, and then people are wow with it. Like after eating, they are like, this food tastes good, and people want more. Marriage is just like that. You can't just focus on one thing and you just expect that thing will just take care of everything.
Others.
Because you look at it, like some people don't want to go for, like if you talk about intellectual, like somebody will just begin to think of somebody that goes to school. And right now, that's what somebody's thinking because he's just narrowing. Yes, he's just narrowing his mind to somebody academic. That's the word. But you look at it, some people don't want some people based on their standard and what they want, because they don't want people that are highly up there, like somebody that maybe have masters, doctorate or something, because he don't want to go to that level. He just feel if the woman is average, he's okay. I think the entire thing is just that understanding. Does she have what I want?
Wait. If the woman is average, is okay. Does that mean him too is average? Or him can be up and then she should just be average?
No,
Or they have to
no.
be on
I'm
the
just
same
talking
cadre.
about a balance now. Okay. I'm not trying to. I'm just talking about a balance of a good marriage. You understand? Because I know of a marriage that lasted for over 40 years, right? The woman is a lecturer in university. The man is just a businessman. Level of education.
What's his level of education?
Secondary school.
Because there are people with PhD, they are also businessmen.
Yes.
Secondary school.
Okay.
You understand? And then it was when they were having their own anniversary, 40 years of marriage. That is when some people knew even the qualification of the man, because she didn't show it to people that like other do, like carry it out, show it on his face, like throw everything. Like she helped the family well. Whatever she's getting, she supports the children when it comes to the academic aspect of it. When it comes to finance, there's a way she does at home. Like if she bring the cash, you understand? Everything goes through the man. And anything she's doing, she pretends is the man that is doing. So why did she have to say all of these things? But she feel that
so does that mean he's not doing well in the business?
No, he's doing well. But what I'm trying to say, they are working together. That means if a woman is helping at home and she don't normally show it and brag with it, then you will know there's a certain level of respect. What I'm trying to say, her academic position wasn't a problem for the family growth. They were living happily, But then the reason why she said that at that Thanksgiving, she used the church in order to encourage the young ladies. And she said her story. She said, this is how I met this man, and this is how he encouraged me. This is where we are, and this is how far our marriage. And then their children are there. You understand? So that you can see the gap when it comes to education. But there is something that she's looking at from the man. There's something the man saw in her, and they agree. They saw it as a ministry, right? As a ministry, they are building something. They are building a generation, and they have agreed this is how to go about it. There's this compatibility in any way you will see it. The gap in the academics, they find a way of neutralizing it, understanding each other. There's no competition. There's no, you understand. But there are some, again, that you find out, they just went for something different. like possibly you just see a lady and you just feel this girl is flashy, she's beautiful, she have all the cups, she's fixed well, and then you feel that's the kind of woman you want around you. Some is just for that beauty. That's all they want, so that they will go out with the lady and brag, or the woman or the wife and brag, nothing less. When it comes to the house, there's no compatibility. All he's thinking in his mind when he's going out, like people will say, this is my wife and the rest. The next thing is just, what do you want? This so amount, give her, and that's just it. So will you call that compatibility? Maybe at that time, the woman, that's not what she's looking at. She's looking for a man that really they will relate. Or maybe at that time, she agreed to go with him because she feels, yes, this is the kind of thing he wants. He's just looking for a flashy woman, and then she kuma. I say she kuma.
You see, I need
And
to make
see
this
again,
clear.
she's looking for someone that is wealthy. So you see, these are the two things that brought them together. So he's giving her money, him is taking her to maybe brag, and that's all.
Well, let me make this clear. As far as relationship is concerned, intellectual compatibility is just an aspect of the key things you should consider. Like I said earlier on, there's emotional intelligence, there's attraction. There's a lot of people, for Christians, your spiritual undertone, like with your stance and all of that, all these are part of compatibility, or part of the key things that people consider in relationship. For intellectual compatibility is just an aspect of it, and as an aspect of relationship, I'm saying that is important. It's important that you consider that, and people should also get it twisted. Intellectual compatibility is not educational qualification, and that is why there are people that get to the highest rank as far as educational qualification is, and you see them or you meet them on the street, you talk with them and you are wondering, or you see the person acting certain way, you wondering, are you really sure this person went to school,
or he just got the results?
Because you are expecting some level of reasoning from that person, and then you are not seeing it. So intellectual compatibility is not educational qualification. Is not compatibility based on educational qualification, but is alignment and harmony in your reasoning, your thinking pattern, your interest. Like as far as growth or as far as mental level is concerned, that is what intellectual compatibility is. And it should not compensate for other key areas in relationship. It should not compensate, but it is also important. So don't say because, okay, at this level, since me and this person were at this level, reasoning, thinking, that covers it. You might get married and then you start seeing other things that you are like, wow, no, I can't take this, I cannot take this. Have you not seen people with the same level of educational qualification, like being a professor and a professor married, but then the marriage
struggles are higher?
I mean, they always have conflicts. Why? Because their reasoning is not at the same level. While this person is thinking my point of view is right, the other person is saying no, it's wrong. So, but if there's intellectual compatibility, it means that you guys are seeing things from the same perspective. Like, and when you, why I said it's also important is because think about it. When you both are married and you are partners or you're in relationship, and there's an alignment or harmony in your reasoning and thinking pattern, I mean, it's going to maximize the chances of always engaging in conflict. Like, that's not to rule out that you will not have conflict, like disagreement in your relationship, but it maximizes, like it minimizes, the chances of always. That's why I said earlier on that you have two professors married, but every day they are in conflict. In fact, at some point the relationship even breaks up. So ordinarily, if you're thinking that, or you're tying intellectual compatibility to educational qualification, why will a professor and like divorce? Because I mean, they have the qualification, I mean, they are the same level. So you expect some level of. So, but at the end of the day, I know one that currently she's not with her husband. She's a professor, he's also a professor, but they could not stay together. So let it not compensate for other key areas in relationship, but it is important. And don't see intellectual compatibility as educational qualification. So it just saves a lot. You find yourself having conversations like aligned when you're conversing, if there's intellectual compatibility, it strengthens your bond.
Of course,
like you and your partner enjoy conversing.
You learn from each other.
Enjoy talking because what you're aligning in your thoughts. Like the husband is at work and he can't wait to get home because he wants to talk with his wife. And when they talk, it's not all about, even when they argue, it's them challenging themselves to become better. When there's intellectual compatibility, you see growth. You see learning taking place, because when your partners, you converse and you say, you need to know this, and the person is not picking offense. But have you not seen partners that you correct them and it's a problem? It's a problem. They fight you. There's a lady that a story was told of a man. His level of education compared to the wife is not at the same level. But when they got married, like that, every time when he talks, the wife will shut him up or she will correct him, and publicly. She will always do that. She didn't know it was getting to him. So one day at the family meeting, while he was talking, I said, why would you talk like? She was trying to correct the English again. He got up. He was enraged. And he said, you will beat her up here. He cannot talk. Every time she's correcting him. And I know a lady too that did not get married to a guy. Why? Because while they are conversing, anything she says, you say it's wrong. That's not how to speak English. That's not how to write. You should write something and send to him. Say, how will you write this rubbish? Are you sure you went to school? And she was a graduate. But he's a barrister and she studied one of these educational courses. So how will you be using your own standard, your terminologies to judge another person's terminologies? So that because she used this word, why not use this word instead? Maybe, for example, they are talking and say, I think getting a house is important. No, say it's sacrosanct. Not important. So it's not about educational qualification, like I said, but understand yourself, be at the same level, mental level, your thought pattern is going to save you a lot. Like imagine that somebody sang a song, the bad governance or the economy is already bad and you're having bad character. So imagine the stress. So the same thing now, you're getting married, there are a lot of issues to handle, to deal with, and then you have a partner that does not think at the same level as you are. You'll be stagnated. You hardly grow. Imagine there's a problem and you need to solve it, and you're like trying to engage your partner, and your partner is saying, you're saying, I think I'm expecting so amount of money at the end of the year, and probably there's some form of allowances that have piled up, and I also have some savings. So I'm thinking, instead of we renewing our rents, since we have a land somewhere, why not let's start building, like, and your wife is saying, which building? I beg, leave that one there, leave it there. Me that I need so wrapper for so meeting. I also need this and that. See, our neighbors, they are busy eating food with everybody with chicken. We have been cooking with crayfish. Can we not upgrade our feeding? And then the husband is saying no. Yeah, she's saying, see what she's thinking of, and him see what he's thinking of. Landlord has already told him that by next year his house rent is going to increase at the end of the year, and he's saying, instead of we like just keep investing in pain, can we just start our project? Even if we don't finish, like maybe he has access to loan, we can actually get and complete. But she's saying no, just like the neighbors are eating with chicken, you should also buy more chickens for us. I need new clothes, I need new. But you see, a wife that you're intellectually compatible with, you're like, that's a good idea. This my husband safe. You see them shake hands and they will like, oh, so can we check the site tomorrow? Who do you think can be? And she's suggesting, he's saying, okay, let's try this person. Did you see how the conversation ended? But the other one now, they will fight, finish fighting, and everybody will go his way. Or at the end of the day, the man will just be taking decision alone. So how can you call this relationship? The Bible said, God said it's not good for a man to be alone, and he created the woman. So you are supposed to enjoy relationship. So how do you expect to enjoy relationship when there is no compatibility as far as your reasoning is concerned? And that's why some men will say, me, I cannot marry a lady that is cool though. He's educated, but he will not want to marry because in his head, that position of a man is about control, is about manipulation. So he's not even thinking of, this is my plan, this is my vision. And when I have a lady that we are intellectually compatible, she's going to help me achieve the vision. It is only somebody that is intellectually compatible with his partner that will push the partner to grow, to learn, to be better. But you see, when there's no intellectual compatibility, you hardly think of the other person. Or you are like, you see people, this one thinking of himself, that one thinking of, you cannot be building, or my family are suffering in the village. Or use this English, that one. That man almost beat his wife at the family meeting. That he cannot talk every time she's correcting him. That's how he did it in the church, that he kept quiet. Now again at the family, because as far as it's concerned, is his own family members. He said he will beat her. It was the brothers that now held him. Some people will tell you it does not matter because it is when you even have a woman, for example, that did not even go to school. She does not have some level of.
That's when you can be king.
So for them, say go to the village, pick a wife. That your reasoning is not even the
She'll
same.
be more submissive.
She'll be submissive. So you see, he keep taking advantage of her ignorance, her lack of exposure. Imagine a woman that is married, always telling her husband now that based on intellectual compatibility, they are not on the same level. She's on a higher side than him. Every day you are going for night duty. Every day you're on night duty. And probably she's having a relationship with another person. But because he does not know their reasoning or their, like, his level of, is not. So you keep taking advantage. It's either she's taken or is taken or manipulated or controlled. So I just feel it's key. It's going to save you a lot.
So what do you do in a situation where you're probably already with a partner and then there is a huge gap in intellectual compatibility? This is not like a relationship where, okay, you've realized that there is a gap, so you want to back out. You're already in it and there is a gap, and this gap is not necessarily just about age. Like, I know we mentioned age, that someone may be 60 getting married to someone that is way younger. Not necessarily about age. You may even be around the same age bracket, but then there is a huge gap in intellectual compatibility. So how do you navigate through that? Because I think you cited some examples already. Someone that is already correcting his wife all the time, saying you're not doing it right, you're not doing this right. He feels like he's a lord. He is the overall boss, and his tenure will never elapse because obviously he is the intellectual one, or she is the intellectual one, and because of that, she's not submissive. She deserves submissiveness from him because she is more intellectually sound. So how do you bridge this whole gap?
Well, I think such people will need a help, because you will find out that in most cases they have tried their own effort and then it's not yielding a result. And that is why you see it's very important, when it comes to issue of marriage, you find mentor. Look for a family that are doing well, God standard. At least they are trying in their own way. We are not saying perfect. We are not saying perfect. That once in a while, you browse and see how they are doing, and then a family that you can confine and say, this is the challenge we're having as a family, and we need help. But for people like that to find help, unless they are willing, how willing are the partners?
Not when one person
when
is
no
willing.
one person is willing and then the other one is not willing. You understand? Definitely you will find that gap. But in that situation, definitely when you find that one is willing and one is not, in such situation, if you are a Christian, definitely you live with it. Because I know there are so many family that at the end you hear at the burial, they will be like, okay, finally you have succeeded in killing our brother. Or you hear that finally you have succeeded in killing our wife. Because you will find out that means from the beginning of the relationship, it was just problem all through until finally, because they say till death do you part. You understand? So it is not easy. It is not easy. And I know if there are people that are faced with such kind of situation, it's not something that someone will just sit down here and said, it's just an easy thing now. You can just do this and just wave it up. And that's why you find out family that don't know Christ, at the end of the day, one will just say, I'm going because I cannot take this any longer. Yes. Somebody will just tell you.
I think I'm also of the opinion that when you are already married, for example, and then you are realizing that at every point you're arguing or your thoughts or your reasoning is not aligning, like it doesn't mean that it's not an end to life.
Of course.
It's something that you can work on. A woman shared her story with me, how that she was in a relationship with a guy and he left her and married another lady because he said she was uneducated and that she cannot match his level. So he dated her for some years, and then when he wanted to settle down, he decided that he cannot get married to her. And it was not her fault that she did not get educated, like go to school. Now you see, education or school is it helps you to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Education also help you to it teaches you some logic, how to navigate through life, and also like just relate with your society. Like it exposes you to a lot of things and how that you can also relate to it. So for him, he felt that with his level of education and where she is, like some village girl that her father didn't get to train her in school, and how can she match my status, like as a medical doctor, for example? I can't get married to her. And he got married to a different person. And the pastor shared a very funny story how that like then some of them had this orientation: if you want to get married, go to the village and just pick a wife, somebody that will be submissive, somebody that will be a pastor's wife, like that. And that, so now that some of them are realizing that the importance of intellectual compatibility, that when you go to church and then you see somebody that is married to somebody that is intellectually compatible with, I'm here with my wife, I would like her to come and then pray for me before I say the sermon. And that some of them that they are not intellectually compatible, you hear them say, I'm here with my wife, can you wait from wherever you are, because of time I cannot.
Let's quickly continue.
So what this pastor did is that he got married. This lady that the doctor left her, that because he said she cannot match his status, what he did was that he decided a pastor married her. And when he married her, he now said he brought her, and he noticed that intellectually they are not compatible, and not because the other qualities of relationship were not there. They were there, and he liked her, and he went there. So he felt it was something I can work on. She told me that he was buying Queen Primer for her when he got married to her. He bought Queen Primer. If you know Queen Primer for nursery classes, like you learning vowel sound, consonant sound, learning new words, learning how to pronounce words, like 2-letter words. That's what she started learning. Eventually, he enrolled her in school, and eventually she graduated. Right now, as we speak, she's in the higher institution. She's doing her BSc. She now helps him edit his scripts. She helps him to edit his sermon. He goes out with her. She assists in different ways. So intellectual compatibility is not, you can't say that because you're already married to the person and that's just the end. That's just the end. There's hope. There's something you can do. You can help
if
the person.
The person is
learn.
willing.
Yes, you can help the person.
Sure.
If the person
Are you not recognizing that I'm here?
Hey, good morning. We're so glad
Where
to
are
have
your
you.
manners? Where are your manners? You should recognize that the chief host is here.
You're welcome. I actually said you'll be joining us
and
shortly.
I was praying that you
exactly,
come on time.
yes.
Okay, what are you discussing on the show? Money.
So that you will not miss out.
When people have a new
Intellectual
hairstyle, or what are you?
compatibility in
When people pack their
relationships.
hair differently, what are you discussing?
See why I
Intellectual
said I was praying that you run to
compatibility.
and finish it.
She wanted us to finish the show
Before
before
I
your
come.
arrival.
Okay, it's 20 minutes to show time. Everybody should shut up for the next 20 minutes. They must
You're
give me my
welcome.
time.
Please, I want you to
Give
ask
me
him
my
that
time.
first question.
Okay. So we're talking about intellectual
Welcome me well
compatibility.
first.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Thank you,
king,
Jemima.
the
Go ahead.
emperor,
Let's join our hearts.
the emperor.
Our
and
what?
a sitting ovation.
Let's join our what?
Jesus' joy in our
Okay.
heart.
With Jesus' joy in our hearts
Okay.
and a sitting ovation.
Sitting ovation.
Yes.
Our hands.
So we're talking about
Welcome.
intellectual compatibility in relationships, and we were able to answer a few questions just before you came. And because of Joyce's request, she said I should ask you the first question, which I will do now.
You know, she got about 60 to 70% of intelligence from being with me.
Okay. So
And,
the question.
I'm not accurate with the
Very
figure, right?
accurate.
With the
Very accurate.
with the
So,
figure, right?
You are
Oh,
accurate.
yeah,
So
okay.
let's
So
say it's
the
perspective.
question
We'll
says,
know.
should intellectual compatibility be the yardstick for measurement? Should intellectual compatibility be the yardstick for measurement? Like, can it compensate other areas of the relationship?
Why are we discussing this on Equa TV? Who do you want to leave the illiterates for? I'm just, I have to let people know I'm around. So
Somebody wants to stone you.
I'm just announcing that I'm here. Jemima,
Yes, sir.
one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Treasure.
You know, folks are different. Somebody will say, hey, I don't care about Joyce not being able to spell her name and all of that. The mother told me how they struggled. I think she was in SS1 before she knew how to really write Jakada. That Jakada.
If you had finished the show earlier on, this
So-
would have not come up.
So that's a huge problem. I mean, I don't know who brought this topic, but if you think intellectual capability or compatibility is not something to discuss, look at Joy. She's still single. I mean, it tells
Among the married.
that's how we are still working on her for her. Let her intellectual sense, appreciate a little. Then
bam.
we see which gonna be boy we can push to manage that situation.
Come close to me and
Remember what I
From
said
Go
earlier
Stay
before the
Away.
show, ba?
Ideally, some people like their women highly conversational, and I think if you want to enjoy conversation in a relationship, you want to do it with somebody that can articulate their nouns, their pronouns, their verbs, their adjectives. People should be able to talk to you very well. Do you know it's a turn on for me when I see a lady and she can speak good English? It's a turn on. It's a turn off when you start saying, "Me too, I was there." It's a turn off. That's me. But another man might be, this lady is intelligent. Intelligence is not speaking English well. You understand? We have countries that manufacture a lot of things that we use today in the world. They don't speak English. Look at China. They don't speak English, but they manufacture everything. The iPhone 15, the iPhone 30, the Samsung Flips, the Folds, everything. They are made in China. It has nothing to do with your English, but we are talking about intellect right now. And it's a different thing from knowing how to speak English.
Yes.
But you see, you use intellect to do a lot of things.
Of course.
You use the intellect to cook. You use intellect to even have sex. And these are things that sustain relationship, food and sex. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So I'm not out of place. So, but if you are young and you are watching the show, we are being adults for a moment. So these things keep a relationship, food, sex, conversations. Let's talk. It's not if you are not intelligent, you pick up your phone and call your husband at work and say, just don't come back to this house today, but I must break your head. Who is Nana? What is Nana doing in this show now? Okay, let's just use it. Who is Nana? And you see, that's not an intellectual way of talking to your husband about his side chick.
Okay.
That's not an intellectual way. Men put up resistance when you talk to them about other girls they go out with. You're not aware? You're not aware. That's how men act. When you start talking to your husband about a woman that he's going out with, he put up resistance. He fights it. So you have to have intelligence to know how to approach every situation. You cannot just be acting like one ladidi anywhere and be anyhow with your relationship, and you lose it and you're asking God, why me? Why not you?
Some of the men, they will just be eyeing the wife, behave now. Kabarni! When you have visitors that you are
Do you
expecting.
understand? Do you understand? So for some people don't care. Just look for a room somewhere in the house and lock her up. When the visitors are gone, you bring her out. You treat your wife that way. There are men that have married women because the women are homely. They are homely. They can take care of children. They have morals. They will inject into the children. But no, she's not good for attending an occasion with me. She's not good for attending a dinner with me. She's not good for attending the office program with me. She's not good. So that they will not just give her a mic to say something and she's like, imagine now I'm married to Joyce and all my classic events we go and they give her a mic, she'll be like, Mezanche. You wouldn't want that. So you need to bring some comic relief. You guys have been serious all through. I was watching the show in my car coming here. But honestly, this is a very prime topic. There are people that say, me I no go school, or make I look for a person who no go school. So he's thinking they have to come to the same level to relate. Somebody is thinking, as I no go school, I go marry person who go school. I know if you teach my children book, my wife go teach them book. See, that's how he's thinking. Another lady is like, I went to school of nursing Kagoro. I must marry a doctor. There's no medical school in Kagoro. So you ask,
they will come and wait for you, my dear.
you know, but of a truth, people are different. So what cuts out for you may not cut out for Solo, may not cut out for Joyce, may not cut out for me. So we cannot say generally this is our direction for the show. We can individually speak our minds about being with intellectual, whether or not they are illiterate. If not, people from certain places will not marry. You know, there are places you go to, they don't school past secondary. When you try, you have that secondary. The parents tell you, we are done with you. It's not like the secondary school, they even did anything. It was a public school. No school fees, nothing. Just go and come back. 2,000 for a report card or something. That's all. The parents will say, we have tried. With 4,000 in 6 years.
You mentioned something that is very key, and I think I have interest in that. How that a man can just marry a wife because he feels she's homely, she's this, is that, but she's not good for events and outings. And like, because earlier on we established the fact that intellectual compatibility is not about educational qualification. It's just you being at the same mental level. It is the alignment and harmony in how you reason, how you think, you and your partner. So this is just an aspect of it. There are men that will say, I want a lady that is very educated, and I want her to pass it to my children. Others will say, no, I don't want an educated lady because, like, don't even go close to them. They will not submit because they are exposed and all of that. Like, for some, that's even a yardstick. So, but why would you marry a woman that you know that you cannot take out? Like, you wouldn't want to go out with her. You wouldn't want to show her. Out. No, I'm not saying you.
Okay, you say why would
Why would some men?
Okay, I don't know because I'm not them.
So why should?
I love you, Joyce. Don't feel attacked. We are together. Go ahead. Chop knuckle.
Why would you marry a woman and you say you're not? Okay, I'm marrying her because she's homely. She can take care of the house. She can cook. She can wash. But if it's as far as event is concerned,
Joyce,
I would rather go and
you are talking about things that are opposite your own sex. You say it with a look on your face.
Why would you do that? Should they do that?
I mean, if you are good for staying at home, why wouldn't I keep you at home?
She's not supposed to be your partner.
But
in every way.
You see, for me, quickly, you know, she know the man, right? This is the reason why he's bringing her. And she agreed to stay. And
Solo,
for him not
Solo,
if
you were a woman and they were going for the video's wedding and they gave Mr. and Mrs. Solomon Savo, and then they keep you at home, will you be happy?
They don't just keep you, they lock you.
Or when you're having visitors coming out, you tell her, don't come out from the room
and keep quiet.
When I was growing, we had quite a number of couples like that in church. Men married them because of the family they come from and all of that. So you see, like I said earlier, people are different. Joyce, there's no reason why I will marry a woman that I cannot take her out. She wants to eat fish. Okay, wait, let me go and get it. Stay here.
In the car.
No, stay at home.
Stay at home.
If you are in the car, chances are that
There's hope.
You are ashamed that the way she might
in the
eat
car,
out,
there's hope.
like she would disgrace you the way she eats out.
Have you ever seen Joyce eating? She's smacking. If you are there loving Joyce, take note.
It cannot be me. It cannot be me.
But
it's important that if you are high up there, my friend is a mechanic, automobile, he fixes cars, his wife is a medical doctor, a surgeon at that, a qualified one, a very, very wonderful one. He comes home, oil and everything, she comes home, clean, sparkling, and they relate well. 3 kids. Their first one is in the university. You know, it's just a matter of understanding. When you love someone, it's a total package. You don't love Joyce and be complaining about her hair. You know, you don't do that. If you love her, you must love her regardless that she's bald. You know, you have to love her completely. If you are not bald, why are you always covering your head with the hair that is not yours?
Hey.
We are equal. And we are supposed to tell the truth wherever we are.
And then Mr. Victor is busy.
And you know, there are some women.
Why are you accusing Victor falsely?
No problem. We'll finish that after this.
No, Victor is just an editor. Victor is mixing pictures they give him.
Okay.
Victor is not selecting. These are the people responsible for. So which cameraman put you for Victor?
I thank God Hassan is there. Yes.
Where is Hassan?
Oh, I know the person.
Wait
who
for
said
us.
to- set up that- You see, there are also issues about people conversing and then picking offense or always disagreeing or fighting. It's still issues of intellectual compatibility. When you think that you're just joking with your partner just gets up and flames up or start breaking things up and okay, like you're taking advantage.
Don't joke with me like that. That's not a joke.
Escalate the whole issue.
Of course, something that shouldn't. But for me, like I said earlier on, it's not like the total package as far as relationship is concerned, but it's an aspect that is important because you being at the same mental level, reasoning, and then harmony in your. I mean, that's the essence of relationship.
There's what is called sense of humor. If you are not highly intellectual, you'll be laughing 10 minutes after a joke is told. You understand? And that is why sometimes is good to keep yourself like close to happenings. Not because you want to brag, but no, you want to be high up there. It's important. Is a societal standard. It's a societal standard. Everybody hopes to attain the level of understanding the simplest things in life. Some people don't understand. You make a joke. Okay, I picked Joyce up on this show severally. You know, there was a time that I think I told you that I said somebody called me from Kaduna and said, "What is the Joyce always doing to you, pastor?" Then the wife now said, "Itawata at the backyard, which is Joyce." But it takes somebody that has some brain in their head to understand that this is a joke.
Yes.
I pick up Linda on the show. People don't even know who Linda is, you know, and it's good for her. People don't even know who she is. Once they find out, they'll find out all I'm saying is true. See, that's a joke on top of another joke. Honestly, you need to have some sense of intelligence to know that this is a joke. At General Church Council last year, they were doing roll call. And then they said, Engineer Tony Nakale, GMEQUA TV. And then I lifted up. And then the person doing it, he said, stand up. He said, you are the one well dressed today. He was surprised. I'm always in jeans and that day I wore kaftan and cap. He said, you are the one well dressed today. He said, truly I am. Inside General Church Council. Do you know if it were a different person, the person might have.
Yes,
he will even go and meet him and say, sir, don't say that to me. I'm not happy. I've told jokes on people. And people stop talking to me until I met them to say, I am sorry. Because I know by just that act of theirs told me that you are not anywhere close to them intellectually. And Joyce has rightly spelled that intellect is not what you only get from school. You have to bring, there was a way she put it, she said you have to bring your level to the other person's level.
Because people have gone to school and they don't have
and they don't have sense, common sense like that they don't have. Okay, it takes intellect to know this is what your husband likes, this is what your husband hates. Anytime I go out with my wife and my kids, there is a way she looks at me. She sees the look on my face without saying yes or no. She knows that that's a yes or that's a no or that's okay, let's start going, or she knows. If she's some dumb person, she will be you understand? But sometimes when you just like, they know that it's time to go. When you are like, you know like it's time to, you understand? So everything has some.
Okay, but what do you do now when you're married to somebody and then the person is always shaming you because you are not, there's no intellectual compatibility?
Slap the person in
because
public.
the person got married to you based on physical.
Slap the person in public.
Based on Maybe it was based on attraction. The person just, I'm attracted to this person, and it's all for me. I don't care about all these things. And he got married to this lady, and like earlier on, I was telling them about someone that was in a relationship with a lady. He's a barrister, and she's studying one of these educational courses. And each time they are talking, it's always correcting her, or maybe she used the word, this thing is very important. I say, can you not just say sacrosanct instead of important? Like, so they always shame you. Another story was of a man that he and the wife's level of education way above his. So each time he's talking publicly, whether in the church, you like, no, that you should not say that. And even they were in a meeting, family meeting, and she got up and said, you should stop talking. That is disgracing her. Like, his English, and he always wants to speak English, but she felt that he was not speaking the right thing. So she asked him to sit down. He just got up and said, I will beat you up here. Anytime I'm talking, you're always like stopping me from, or you're embarrassing me in front of people. He said, I will beat you up. It was his brothers and his family that held him. So you're already married to this person, and the person, because of how he feels that there is gap between you and him intellectually, is always shaming you, or is always embarrassing you. Like, how do you go about that?
Joyce, none of them is intelligent. None of them is intellectual. If one is, when they are without others, they will talk, and he will pull the other person to their level of intelligence. Do you understand? You see, I said something. In this part of the world, we see people who speak good English as intelligent people, as intellectual people. That's just a language. It's like a trade you picked and you are good at it. English does not really, whether it's spoken correctly or not. Now, if Dangote comes out and speaks bad English, does it deny the fact that he's still rich? I heard something very funny happened. They were employing a gate man somewhere, and they asked him. He qualified for everything. They said, finally, can you speak English? He said, will the robbers come speaking English? He said, will the armed robbers come from America? He said, we are living in Angwa. So you are asking if I can speak English. What has that got to do with anything? Actually, it has nothing to do with anything. It is certain people who think they are intellectual that make it sound like when you don't speak correct English, it's a blunder. Especially when it's not your language. Of course, it is expected that you speak polished and filtered English. It is expected. But in the area that you cannot, but you express yourself. Have you seen...
when it's the general language, that's what is expected.
Have you seen the person that did this, was trying to say something, then they snapped him. And then they wrote, I don't know what he's trying to say, but I agree with him. The person did. And then they just munched the picture and said, I don't know what he's trying to say, but I agree with him.
Energy improving the point.
But you see, we have had leaders who could not speak well. We had a member in the House of Rep, Kazori, Kazori. He couldn't speak good English. He said the economy is doing like this, like that. That's not a good English. But he had points to make. He had reasonable contribution. So in that case, Joyce, the man is an illiterate. The woman is also an illiterate. So none of them is intellectual.
He was part of the people, part of the committee that make that research concerning the Emefiele saga.
That's the member.
He was the person that was raising alarm based on the funding.
And you tag him to be unintellectual just because he couldn't speak, English that is appealing to you.
So a young lady now that is going out with or in a relationship with a young man that always at each point she talks, he's not satisfied. He wants her to speak as he speaks.
Get her to learn English. Or leave her alone for the person that will tolerate that level of English in his life. Don't be wasting people's time. When you know things will not work, don't be, reducing mileage on the person. You are burning kilometers and you are reducing mileage, and suddenly you come and tell the person, this thing is not working. When you are climbing horse every now and then, you didn't know it was not working. When you are doing this, you didn't know. They will pay me salary, you collect this one, you didn't know it was not working. It's now that you got Joyce. You want to leave Jemima because Jemima cannot. Oh no, you got Jemima. You want to leave Joyce because Joyce cannot speak English. Well, honestly, like that thing that you said about these two couples, they should sit down and agree. It's just some people who want to speak the biggest of all English.
But in a situation whereby one is not willing,
and the person that is not willing should be locked at home. there's no point bringing the person out.
You know how violent that such people can be, right?
No, you don't have to tell them you are very.
Entitlement
Don't tell them there is town hall meeting.
Because already they are threatening. They always feel you want to take advantage of their ignorance. They are always violent.
It is a disability. It is a disability. You know, for some people, not being able to speak, don't mind anybody that is doing Prime Master anywhere. For some people, their inability to speak good English becomes a disability. And you know, people that are disabled, there is a way they see themselves less other humans. It takes the grace of God for them to pick up, you know, courage and say, hey, I'm complete. How, even though, but then you understand there is a discrepancy, but it's up to you. It's all in your mind. I've asked a question before: why are you a lady? Because I have all the features. An accident happens and all these features are cut. What have you become? It's not so. It's in the mind. Who you are is more internal than it is external. So that is why some people will have breast cancer and they'll cut off one breast, and then what have you become? You still have dignity. It's not in anything that people can see physically. It's just the mind of the seer that wants to see the object in a particular way. If you cannot give way, let somebody else see me that way. But you see, if you are talking about intellectual capabilities, there are men that are more intellectual than there are women, and then it's the other way around as well. So what do? You just tell the woman, once you are given chance, I think, sweetheart, just keep it simple. Try to just say, how is everyone, and can you try it? Let's see before we go out. It's out of love. Oh, you got it right. On our way, I buy you fish. You see? Next time she'll tell you, see, women fellowship say I'm speaking. Oh, what should I go and say? Let me not go and disgrace myself. There are many ways to deal with these things. But when you are like, madam, you went and spoke this English in church, tomorrow they will say I'm your husband. You see, it's wrong. Certain times, I'll be with my children at home. When they are watching TV, very like Netflix, movies that are there, they'll be like, this English is not correct. Even me that is watching, I'm just enjoying it. I say, rewind it. They will say, no, he used a this in a this when it's supposed to be a this. So if he's referring to this, he should have used it there. Sometimes I'll just pick my phone and see if I want to enter call. I'll go and browse it. I'm telling you. And I'll find out that they are right. Things are changing. Madam, things are changing. These children are learning what, even in the university, some people did not learn. They are learning, they are teaching them how to stand up and speak up without disrespecting people. Express yourself. Disregard the look on the person's face and tell him how you feel.
Sheila was correcting me yesterday.
That
my English.
That what?
That I told her elder brother to get up, pick this cup and take it.
Okay, what was her own?
Pick this cup and take it to the room. And she said, no, that's not how I'm supposed to say it.
Okay, how are you supposed to say?
Take this cup to the room.
The thing is that, you know, I know that there are people out there that will be shouting. I just told her, I say thank you. There are people out there that will be shouting, that's your own take. It depends on individual.
Naturally.
But just so people know that it's important and it's not a total package. It's just an aspect of the whole relationship. But do know that if you are aligning and in harmony as far as your reasoning and thinking and your mental level is, it means that you are going to enjoy conversation. You're going to be having shared interest. You're going to be having like problem as far as problem solving and decision making is concerned. Things are going to be easier. You find yourself connecting and bonding, and it also helps you to grow and learn and become better. I think that's one of the key things.
Thank you.
It's all about understanding. It's all about understanding. No matter how we put it, it's all about understanding. Once you understand and you know this thing is good for you and it will not cause a problem, I think it's fine. It's fine.
Thank you, Engineer Tony Jenakali, for doing this with us. Joyce, thank you. Solomon Sambo, thank you. Thank you for. Okay, you expected more than that. Oh, thank you, Joyce and Solomon Sambo, for doing this with me and Engineer Tony Jenakali.
Thank you, Jamima, for hosting me.
Thank you. So intellectual compatibility has absolutely nothing to do with your educational background or whatsoever qualification you think you have attained, because indeed it is not related to that. I hope you learned something today from this show. Please do this with us tomorrow, same time, same station. Do have a great day. Bye.